Howdy, folks. Many of you know me and more of you don't. And a lot more people don't realize Colonel Sanders was a real person. For those who don't know me, I'm Colonel Sanders, founder of Kentucky Fried Chicken's great-great-great-nephew. I'm the last Sanders in this family line, and I am a Kentucky Colonel. The last few years, I have dedicated my pages to upholding Uncle Harley's history, the facts, and the real information around the fast food chain Kentucky Fried Chicken and all the restaurants that spun off after. Many of you have joined me on this journey. Many of you know how I felt about those old ads 10 years ago, which is how my pages started with talking about family history, was because they were disrespecting Uncle Harley. They turned the Colonel into a stripper in front of the family. They turned the Colonel into many different things. They changed his race, his gender, his personality, his persona, multiple times over and over and over again, treating him like he was just a fake mascot. Now, you don't see this with any other fast food chain changing and making a mockery of their mascot. They keep it original at their fast food chains. What's rare is having a real person that is your mascot. Wendy's and Kentucky Fried Chicken have real people as their mascots. But you don't see them sexualizing Wendy. Could you imagine the outrage? You don't see them sexualizing Dave Thomas. What you see being sexualized is my great-great-great-uncle, Colonel Harlan Sanders. The brand itself is sexualizing him. What's even more disappointing is in these commercials saying to make him hot, which I don't understand, there's a lot of fans that want to back it up. And I guarantee 99% of them have no idea that he was a real person. There is a teacher in his 30s in Florida that told a student that he couldn't do a project on Colonel Sanders in history class because he was never real. So anyways, to a lot of you, this may not matter. And I really don't care how you feel about it or anyone else feels about it. This is how I feel as a family member of the Colonel. Seeing my uncle sexualized is weird. Seeing the encouragement of him sexualized is weird. Seeing the brand represent his spirit and soul after he's dead is uncomfortable and also does not fall into the sale of his likeness. He did not sell the rights to his soul and to his spirit. He sold the rights to his name and image to be used in marketing as long as they didn't strive away from his quality, which they absolutely have. For a fact, Kentucky Fried Chicken changed their oil, changed their flour. They changed hands on who makes the seasonings. Two businessmen owned it after Uncle Harley sold out. An alcohol company, a cigarette company, a soda company, which spun off this restaurant company that we know as Yum Brands today. Now, yes, I have been heavily critical of Kentucky Fried Chicken, and that's because this is my family legacy and history. And it expands more than just Kentucky Fried Chicken, but I'd like to see it respected and honored in the way that it should be, instead of disrespected and turned into a complete joke. After my grandparents and my parents are gone, that's the last generation that actually knew Colonel Sanders. And then it's just us, the children left over, the great-grandchildren, the great-great-grandchildren, the great-great-great-nieces and nephews. I mean, if my page didn't exist, the future generation of the Colonel's family wouldn't know who the Colonel was, because they would have the brand to look to, but they wouldn't know the full story. No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't know the full story of Colonel Sanders, their family member, because all that would be available to them that they would see first is a stripper ad, is a make him hot ad. There's a bunch of young people that don't know what they're doing in KFC marketing today, wanting to make a name for themselves. The advertising that they do is horrible. It works. It goes viral. People talk about it. Some people love it. In my opinion, it's horrible. Yeah, they're setting themselves aside from all these other chains and stuff, but it's not in the right way. There's not a fast food chain out there today that has a member of the founder's family representing that company, other than Wendy's. Now, I'm not saying Kentucky Fried Chicken owes me or my family anything, but they owe the Colonel everything. A few years ago, Kentucky Fried Chicken and I met in Corbin, and I put my differences aside from those commercials. I accepted that they exist, and I was able to speak with members of the brand. I have made so many connections with franchisees at Kentucky Fried Chicken, families that knew Uncle Harley, family of original franchisees. We have connected so many people through the Kentucky Fried Chicken family through this page. Many of them sympathize with what I'm saying. It is just wrong to disrespect the Colonel like this. We have the technology today to bring him back if we wanted to through AI with his original footage and superimpose it onto something new. I'd rather that happen than the crap that they're doing now. Put yourselves in my shoes. There are so many impersonators of my uncle out there just wanting to play the Colonel for Kentucky Fried Chicken that they dress like him every day. They go everywhere every day as him. And they groomed and manipulated me from a young age into trusting them and even nominating some of them for Kentucky Colonel so that they could turn around and then harass me more, threaten me some, and take Uncle Harley's image for their own. So there's another reason why I don't really like these impersonators and lookalikes or whatever representing my uncle. My family used to represent the Colonel. Did you know that? In the 1980s, 1980 through 1989, James Wilbur Sanders, Kentucky Colonel James Wilbur Sanders, represented Kentucky Fried Chicken. He stepped in as the spokesperson after Colonel Harlan Sanders died. He was the last Sanders in my family, and a lot of people would argue, why would we want a nephew to represent the Colonel? Why not a grandchild? 1, the grandchildren are not interested. 2, the grandchildren are not Sanders. They have Sanders in them, but they don't carry the last name Sanders. 3, you could ask the same reason why they used a nephew instead of a grandchild back in the 80s. James was the Colonel's nephew, the Colonel's brother's son. I'd like to get back to those days. Have the Sanders actually represent the Sanders in the brand today. I won't ask for much money on it, but at this point, I just don't see it happening. Kentucky Fried Chicken is closing so many stores, but they're opening so many at the same time, too. They went from 25,000 locations to over 30,000 locations, 1% owned by corporate to now 2% owned by corporate. So by no means are they shrinking in the world. But my contacts within Kentucky Fried Chicken, confidential information says that KFC US is struggling to keep the doors open, and something must be done now to save the brand. In 2010, when they ran the Kentucky Fried Chicken ads disrespecting the Colonel, it saved the brand by making it more relevant. More people wanted to eat the food. They're doing that again because they are not doing the food right. They are not doing the quality control right. If they were, the location that I had an issue with in Central City would have been shut down completely. So I am boycotting Kentucky Fried Chicken until they stop this disrespectful ad campaign. I'm not saying they have to hire me as the Colonel or to represent him in the company for me to stop my boycott. I'm saying they need to stop the disrespect on him. This is not a comeback. This is a rebranding. This is an absolute disgrace. I love Kentucky Fried Chicken, or what it used to be. I love my family history. I intend to preserve my family history for what it is, especially if the brand won't do that. Many of those people in that marketing team are my age or younger. Did you know Kentucky Fried Chicken changed presidents several times this year? Did you know Kentucky Fried Chicken, after moving to Texas, lost a lot of corporate members that went to competing chicken chains because they didn't agree with the move? Did you know franchisees that have been in the business since the very beginning when Uncle Harley was alive are selling most of their shares in Kentucky Fried Chicken in their stores because they don't agree with the changes? Oh, I'm just getting started. I know a lot of information that I haven't revealed to the world, and it's about time that people start learning. So I am going to boycott Kentucky Fried Chicken until they stop the disrespect, and I'm going to start putting the truth out there about things. Buckle up, because it's going to be a wild ride.